Welcome to our series, Moving America Forward. Each week we'll be focusing on America's entrepreneurs as they take us to new roads, new opportunities, new ways to fill the gaps left by today's failing companies. Our series will be looking at that and a lot more. So come with me and watch as the entrepreneurs of our nation move into the future.
And I'm Doug Llewellyn here in our studios in Los Angeles with our guest today, who is the president and the owner of a company called the Hansen Group, which is located in New Berlin, Wisconsin. I'd like you to meet her now. Her name is Jennifer Hansen. Jennifer, welcome. Nice to have you with us.
Thank you, Doug, for having me.
You know, you're in a fascinating business, especially for a woman, and we'll get into that in a moment. But first, I want to point out a little while ago you had a chance to answer some questions from William Shatner. Let's take a look at a brief portion of that now and see how it went.
Sounds
okay?
good.
All right, let's watch.
You are certainly in an interesting business, but take a moment to describe to me exactly what you do and who you do it for and how it helps move America forward.
Mr. Shatner, most advanced products such as automobiles, motorcycles, critical healthcare equipment require seals to ensure the system does not leak. Leaks can affect the satisfaction, safety, or even the life of the product user. These essential seals are what we specialize in and have distributed for over 25 years. We are helping move America forward by creating jobs and providing a critical service to corporations around the world.
And this, folks, is what Jennifer is talking about. It's an O-ring. It's made of rubber, but I understand they also come in other substances. It's very pliable. Tell me basically what an O-ring does, Jennifer.
An O-ring is going to, a seal will actually contain a vapor, oil, any type of fluid so that the overall system will not leak.
And it's used on engines. They're everywhere, aren't they?
They're everywhere. They're in critical care equipment, they're on motorcycles, they're on automobiles, they're on pumps, they're on valves, they're in your sink.
I think the other thing to point out is they come in all shapes and sizes.
Yes.
They come big,
yes.
They come very, very small. We have a number of them here on the desk. If you can see this to get a brief idea of what I'm talking about when I say all different sizes, here's even one that's 122 inches. Look at these. These are all various O-rings, and here's one that's 120 some inches long.
220.
220 inches long. You know what? There's such an amazing story here. Your father owned the business and had been in it for a long time.
Yes.
And then he wanted to sell the business, and he invited you to bid for the job, to buy the company, right?
I started working for the company 21 years ago. He had started it 25 years ago, and about 13 years ago I purchased it from him.
And in the intervening period of time, since you bought the company and now, how has the company changed?
It's changed pretty dramatically. I actually formed another company besides Anderson Seal called Anderson Packaging.
Right.
And we did a lot of packaging and kitting in the seal company, so we went after some of our current customers' business that uses the seals and said, what if we package them for your aftermarket requirements?
But the point is, how much have you changed the company?
Well, the packaging part is very different than the distribution part of the seal. So now we're taking many different components, not just seals, but a lot of other components, and packaging them for the aftermarket. And then we're also purchasing and packaging components for finished assemblies and sending them over to other countries where they can assemble and sell them there.
But what I was about to point out, what I want to point out is how many employees did they have when you became president?
We had 10.
And now how many do
We
you have?
have 85.
Look at that. The
Yes.
company has grown dramatically
Yes.
in the intervening time. This is what you're talking about packaging components.
Kits.
These are kits. And what might this be, for example?
For like an oil change kit, for example. So if you have a motorcycle, you go to a dealer to change the oil change, and these would be the parts that would be needed for that oil change.
Well, this has become a really big additional source of income for your company, but
Yes.
a great big source of, it's a big help to
Yes.
your clients.
It is, because a lot of clients want to outsource these types of activities, so we can purchase the parts, inspect them, inventory them, and then ship them next day for the dealers.
Tell me about the kind of clients that you produce these for. You distribute, you don't make them,
We
you
distribute, yeah, we supply.
So you acquire them from all over.
And they're all different types of seals: O-rings, gaskets, fittings, custom rubber molded shapes, oil seals, retaining rings, any type of seal. And they go into Harley-Davidson motorcycles, GE healthcare critical care machines, automotive applications, pumps for swimming pools, valves for tractors. Like you said, they're everywhere.
That is so amazing. And you do customized work
Yes,
as well.
Absolutely.
This, for example, would be a custom
It's a gasket for a
Sealing right.
windshield for a motorcycle.
How about that? Well, tell me about the company. What do you have engineers yourself on staff?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the key things that we offer is because a lot of our customers don't have their own engineers on staff. They don't specialize in seal design.
Right.
So we will work with our customers to understand what they need and then be able to select and design the seal for their application.
So do you go to a company and
Absolutely.
examine what their
Absolutely.
needs are?
We like to be an extension of them.
And in many instances, you're very close to the company.
Very much so.
And that's a big advantage.
It is.
Why?
Because when people have problems, they want an instant solution. And unless you're close and can be there to work with their teams to solve the problems, it's not going to happen quickly.
These move on. I mean, on a daily basis. You're
We sell
restocking your clients.
millions of O-rings a day.
Millions a day.
Millions a day.
And where do you get them?
We get them from all over the world. It really just depends on the product line. We go for the most competitive, best quality source depending on the product. And we'll have multiple sources for each product to remain competitive and benchmark.
Do you have them custom made for you?
Absolutely.
And then I know a lot of this is done abroad in other countries.
Yes.
You go over, inspect the facilities.
Yep, absolutely. I audit them regularly. They're good partners of ours and good friends, actually.
What do you think it is that makes your company so unique?
I think it's the different products and services that we offer. A lot of distributes will do what we do and do inventory management services or provide seals, all types
Right.
of seals, but
Right.
not a lot of them are also taking care of all their customers' aftermarket requirements, and not all of them are actually purchasing all the products from our customers' suppliers and assembling them for their customers to assemble abroad.
And is it kind of unique? I would think it is, at least for a company in this business, to be owned and run by a woman?
I guess. I mean, I didn't want to sell rubber products when I got out of college, but it's a fascinating business, and it really is one of those businesses that once you get in, you don't want to get out. You learn something new every day because there's always a different application, a different opportunity, and it's just a lot of fun.
And have things changed much in this business?
Not necessarily, no. Not really. I mean, the seals, the materials, they're all been standard and been around for a long time.
So tell me about the different materials.
Well, it just depends. I mean, a material is going to be picked based on what the temperature is, what the pressure is in the application, if it's a static or a dynamic application, is it moving or is it staying, what the fluid is in the application, because all of those things dictate what kind of material you need. So low temperatures, we're going to require, a fluoroelastomer. Normal water is going to be just a nitrile material. Silicone is going to be for dry heat, and it's going to typically be orange. Fluorosilicone is going to come in blue, and it's going to be for real high, more static temperature application. So it really just depends. You have to make sure all four things work together, otherwise the seal will not work.
What happens if a seal fails?
Oh, I'm an infant who relies on oxygen for their critical care device. They rely on that, and the seal is what's pushing the vapor into that device. So if
Right.
that leaks, that could be fatal.
And if an engine is operating, on the space shuttle or whatever, it could be total failure.
It could be.
So it may seem insignificant, but it's far from it.
Right. It's the least expensive, most important.
That's an interesting way to put it.
In my eyes, always.
Least expensive, most because some of these can cost a penny, right?
A lot of them do.
And could bring down $1 million machine.
Right.
That's really pretty astonishing when you think about it. And look how tiny this is. This is a little O-ring. It's made of, that's metal.
That's called an oil seal, so it's an energizer seal. So it's used for high pressure applications, and it's like a wiper.
Right.
So it's going to be able to wipe any contamination off of a piece of equipment or something like that.
And do companies come to you to actually help design?
Yes.
You get involved in that?
Yes, that's, I think, what we're good at.
How does that work?
Well, they normally will come with a problem. They're having a problem, maybe with another seal, maybe with a new design or development, and they need help with sealing it because it's leaking when they test it. So then we go in and we look at what the issues are, we ask some important questions, and we look at some options, we give them some samples for some solutions, and we go from there.
Your background had nothing to do with this.
No, I was a psychology and Spanish graduate.
So this is something you really learned on the job.
I did.
And now it's obvious you're a walking book of knowledge on.
I love my O-rings.
On
Yes,
O-rings.
yes, and I'm glad you love them too. This is good.
Well, I mean, they're fascinating stories when you come to think about it, and you look at all the different ones. Here's another one of your custom packaged products.
Yep.
What would this be?
That's a kit for like an inner primary. So if
Okay.
you have to change the inner primary on your motorcycle, then you would go and use all those components when you replace all the seals.
It's gotten to the point where your packaging company has become you actually package parts. I mean, machines, whole total bikes even.
components of finished parts.
Yes.
So
well,
not
finished
machines, but
part, right.
components of the finished, yes.
Right. And they go all over the world.
You know, they go to Brazil, they go to India.
Where does your company fit in this whole world of O-rings? I mean, you have to be one of the better known ones. I would
There
think.
are a lot of distributors of O-rings. It's a very competitive business, you know, but we're fortunate to have some of the best customers, I think, in the world, and I think that makes us a better supplier.
And what do you like about this business?
The diversity, it's never the same day twice. I never have a down day where I'm looking for something to do, so I like that.
And how much hands-on do you get in?
I'm very hands-on.
You are.
I am. I enjoy it, and I can be a resource for new employees because I can answer a lot of their questions.
If I asked you what separated you from the others in this business, how would you answer that?
I don't know. I would hope that if somebody needs something that they can't get it done, they would all say, just call Jennifer.
And what about the speed that you can provide a solution for a
I'm
company?
very quick. I'm very quick. And even though we have 85 people, we have 3 buildings with about 25, 30 people in each building. So I like to be small because that's how you can make decisions fast.
Yeah. And is Wisconsin a good place to be located for this industry?
I think Wisconsin is a great place. It's a great place for business. The New Berlin is the largest industrial park in the state, so you literally can jump on any highway and get anywhere very quickly. And there are many, many, hundreds of millions of seals that are sold in Wisconsin.
Well, there's such an industry up there.
There is. A lot of manufacturing in Wisconsin.
You really don't think about that.
Right.
Well, you know, all I can tell you, this is just a fascinating story, and it's such a pleasure to meet you because you're a rarity. And you're obviously extremely knowledgeable about this
Thank you,
subject.
Doug.
Thank you very much for
Thank
stopping
you very
to tell
much.
us
I
about it.
appreciate it.
You're
Thanks.
more than welcome. Thank you.
Thanks.
Now it's my honor to present this prestigious award to Jennifer Hansen, the president and the owner of the Anderson Group, headquartered in New Berlin, Wisconsin, for the outstanding work her firm is doing to help keep moving America forward. Jennifer, it's a pleasure to give this to you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Doug. I want to thank my parents, Phil and Sandy Anderson, for founding the company 25 years ago, my exceptional staff, and my very loyal suppliers and customer base.
Oh, that's very good. If anybody wants to contact you, what's your website?
www.andersonseal.com.
Very good. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.